What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's live stream. Today is a special live stream because I just hit 10,000 subscribers. I cannot believe it. My goal was to hit 10K by the end of this year, by New Year's Eve, and we did it early. So thank you so much to everyone who's been here since the beginning, the newcomers as well. I seriously appreciate every single one of you. I love talking Scream with you guys and just hanging out. It's always a blast. So let's hang out for the next hour or so and talk Scream as always. Some Scream theories we'll get into. We can talk some other horror as well if that's what you want to talk about. Really no rules here except, keep it respectful as always. Thanks, RJ. I appreciate that. Thanks for always tuning into the live streams. Thanks, SMF. Hey, Chocolate Ice. Thanks for moderating. Hey, Presents. Thank you so much. I appreciate this. Yeah, it's been a while since you've been in one of these streams, I think, right? Hey, Alex. Thanks, Reaper Kid. Hey, Gerald. Just trying to say hey to everyone, and then, we'll start getting into some theories. If you have any theories or anything you want to talk about, start dropping them in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate all of you guys. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Raggedy Man. Thank you. So many nice comments coming in. Hey, Climinator. Hey, Marvel. Thanks, Kyle. I appreciate you. Thanks, Eunice. Hey, Kenny. Do I think Jamie Kennedy's subbed to me? I don't know. I feel like probably not. He told me that he would check out my channel, but, I don't know. He's a busy guy. I mean, I don't think he's confirmed to be alive, but all of us here think he is. Matthew Lillard thinks he is, but nothing's confirmed yet. I think we're just going to have to wait and see until Scream 7 comes out. Hopefully, I don't want us to find out before it comes out. Some people say, like, are they going to reveal it ahead of time as kind of like a marketing tool? I hope not. I don't want them to reveal it ahead of time. I don't want Stu to be like in the trailers. I want to be completely surprised when I sit down in that theater. My next goal is to hit 15K. And when that happens, I'm going to get a ghost face tattoo and kind of document it for the channel. So if you guys can somehow help me get to 15K, that would be great. Share the channel with a friend, someone who you might know is into Scream or some other horror as well. Hey, Tara, thank you. I would like to see Randy again somehow. I've said before, like I think that they can do it with either a flashback or another videotape from him and de-age Jamie Kennedy. They have the technology these days. Movies de-age people all the time, so why not for Scream? Hey, Alvaro, thank you. I personally don't think Mickey is alive. I know there's a lot of people out there who do think this. Um, I'm not opposed to it. I just don't have any reason to believe that he is. I guess it's technically possible because he was not shot in the head. And, this franchise emphasizes, unless the killer is shot in the head, they can always come back. So, is it possible for Mickey? Sure, but I just don't think it's likely. Um, so Tatum's death is one of those that's kind of up in the air. Like there a lot of fans. I always thought it was Billy, but a lot of people think it was Stu. Um, and um, there's a video here on YouTube. I think the channel's name is Nerds at Night or something like that, where they provided some evidence that points towards Stu being the one to kill Tatum. And it really has like kind of changed my mind on who killed her. I still don't know. And I still think it's one of those things where we won't really ever know for sure. Um, the evidence that they provided really makes it seem like it could be Stu, but it's stuff that was kind of deleted. Like it was in the original script, but they chose to not include it. So I don't know. Maybe it is Billy. What does everyone think? Who do you think killed Tatum? I always thought it was Billy. Thanks, Dylan. Hey, Ray. Thank you. Thank you, Alex. Thanks, Climinator. If I could meet any other Scream actor, probably Matthew Lillard. Yeah, I hope that they don't choose to have him in the trailer. I just think that would take away from one of the biggest plot twists, the biggest plot twist in the franchise for sure. Thanks, SMF. Yeah, I got this at some kind of like street fair. There was this vendor selling horror stuff, and it's pretty unique if you ask me. So the glasses that he's wearing are like actual flowers that are like glued to the photo. Hey Ryan. Thank you. Thanks for being a member for 14 months. That's crazy. Time flies. Stu Macher is alive. In Scream 6, when Quinn is on the phone with her father and Ghostface is behind her, do you think she is actually talking to her father on the phone or making it up? I don't know. That's a good question. If she was faking it, like, who would she be faking it for? I feel like she really was on the phone, but I don't know. What do you guys think? I agree with this, Tara. Um, yeah, I just hope, when he's going to set to film stuff, I hope no one leaks photos of him on set. If they do, I'll kind of be torn on how I feel about it. I'll obviously be bummed that it was leaked and that the surprise was ruined, but I'll be super pumped that it's like, okay, this is happening. Yeah, I thought Billy looked pretty good in 5 and 6. I feel like he looked better in 5 than he did in 6. I don't know. He looked a little older in 6, but either way, it worked, and just think about like the filters that they have on social media apps, like on Snapchat and TikTok. You can literally make yourself look like a teenager if you're a full-blown adult. So if you can literally do that for free on a social media app, why can't you do it in a movie with like a huge budget? I mean, I always think about that one movie with like Will Smith. I think it's called Gemini Man. I've never seen it. I heard the movie was actually kind of bad, but the de-aging that they do was great. I would love for Jill to also be alive. Um, I think there's a chance that she could be. That was the original plan, you know. She was originally supposed to survive Scream 4 and come back for Scream 5 if they had continued back then. Obviously, that didn't happen, but I don't know. I think it's possible. And um, Emma Roberts said pretty recently, like a year ago, that she feels that she was not done with the franchise and she would love to come back. So we will see. Yes, Mickey was shot multiple times, and I also think he's dead, but like I said, he wasn't shot in the head. And this franchise literally makes a point to emphasize that unless they were shot in the head, they could always come back. So if they wanted to bring him back, they could. I just, I don't think that they should. Most insane ghost face, I think, has to be Jill. Just the fact that she literally beat the crap out of herself. Like, you have to be insane to do that. Like that's that's insane. Hey Donald, what makes Stu an iconic character? Is it the way he's written or is it Matthew Lillard's performance? I think it's his performance. I feel like he has said before that, or someone said that the way that the character was written, there really wasn't much going on there. He was kind of just like this plain, boring character. I think Matthew Lillard like really brought this character to life. I don't think anyone else could have played him. If anyone else did, it would have been such a different character. Hey, Chris. You think Billy killed Tatum? Yeah, I always thought it was Billy. Mine is also the original. If Christina's going to be in Scream 7, how do you want them to introduce her? I don't know. Well, it would have been different if Sam and Tara were going to be in the movie. Then obviously I think they would have just introduced her, as their mom, like in a normal setting. But now that they're not going to be in the movie, um, I mean, you guys know that I have a bunch of theories for Christina that I think she's working with Stu. So if she is going to be in 7, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like she wouldn't be introduced until the final act, like with Stu. But I don't know. I know Billy really didn't have feelings for Sid. It was all endgame to him. But if Stu did kill Tatum and had real feelings for her, that's cold. Yeah, I wonder if he really did have feelings for her. They were a cute couple before, everything happened. But I don't think that they were dating that long. I don't know if he had real feelings for her. Chris thinks Stu killed Tatum. Yeah, the fandom is very, very divided on this. I really don't know. I think Stu killed Tatum because the ghost face who kills Tatum goes back to the party which Stu is hosting. And if it was Billy, he should have went out the garage, not back to the party. That is a good point. That is a good point. Joe thinks Billy killed Tatum. Travis thinks Stu killed Tatum. Same. I love that we can still theorize like 30 years later. It's insane. Like, I don't know. Whenever I try to, come up with new videos for the channel, sometimes it's difficult. Like, sometimes I'm not in a creative headspace and I'm like, I've talked about everything there is to talk about. But then sometimes you just got to get a little creative, give the movie another watch. And there really is just so much to pull from these movies. And that's why I love rewatching the movies because you notice something new every single time you watch it. It's insane. Reaper Kid thinks Billy killed Tatum. Climbinator thinks Stu killed Tatum because he killed Casey and Steve. Plus, also he had the easiest access to the garage. Yeah, I don't know. But you guys should watch that video that I mentioned. I think the channel is Nerds at Night. They provided some evidence where they think it's Stu. Thanks, Jay. Do you find it to be strange that Sam never met Richie's family while the two of them were together? I don't, because they were only together for 6 months. That's really not a long time. I feel like most relationships in real life, like, you don't meet the family for a while, like past 6 months for sure. Matthew Lillard makes all the roles he plays in some of the funniest people in the movie. I agree. He is like a one of a kind actor. He is just so good in every single one of his movies. Like, obviously, Scooby Doo live action, like, he is such a great Shaggy. I love him in The Curve. If anyone here has not seen the movie The Curve, it's a must watch. It's so good. It came out in 1999, I think, or 98. Um, and it has Scream vibes. It's kind of similar to Scream, but different at the same time. But his character in that is so good. He's also good in SLC Punk, um, 13 Ghosts. He's just a great actor. Yes, this green ghost face mask is pretty new. I just got it this Halloween season at a Halloween store in New York City. Yeah, I'm always sad when October's over. It's my favorite month. But I do love Christmas, so I am happy that we're entering the Christmas season. I'm already there. Like, I've decorated my house. I've been watching Christmas movies. I just watched Elf last night. Um, Once January hits, that's when I'm really like, okay, is it October yet? I would love for Jill to also be alive with Stu. I was saying to you in the last stream, I don't care for Angelina. She's like one of my least favorite characters. Yes, I have seen that Ghostface is in Mortal Kombat. I'm not a gamer, so I'm not going to play it, but I think it's pretty cool. And I just watched the trailer last night because the other day in my live stream, you guys were all telling me that there was like a trailer for it. Um so I watched the trailer. It looks pretty cool. Hey Homer Hat. Thanks for stopping by and thank you for being a member for 11 months. Like I was just saying, time flies. That's almost a whole year. Like what? Let's see, where was I? Thanks, Kenzie. Hey, Davey, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've never seen Gemini Man. I mean, I agree. I think Stu and Jill together would be a great duo. But will they do it? I don't know. That might just be too much. Like, I always say in these streams, like, people already have a hard enough time wrapping their head around Stu coming back. So to bring back a second ghost phase, they might just think it's like a little too much. Oh my god. Yeah, see, I heard Gemini Man wasn't great. If Mickey is alive, then he is the 50 Cent of the franchise. He was shot a lot. Oh my god, you have to rewatch Scream 4. What do you mean it's been so long? I rewatch Scream 4 very often. I just rewatched it like a few weeks ago. Yeah, after she she kills Charlie, Sydney's like bleeding out on the floor and she beats the crap out of herself. She like stabs her shoulder. She puts the knife there and like runs into the wall. She bashes her head into a glass picture frame. She literally falls back onto a glass table. She rips out her own hair. Like, she's insane. Skeet does look really good for his age. If there's one thing from the Scream franchise that you could have from the set, what would it be? I don't know. I mean, obviously just one of the masks, I guess. Maybe like the voice changer would be cool. Maybe something of Randy's, like Randy's, other than Stu, Randy's my favorite character, so I don't know, maybe like his t-shirt from the first movie. Thank you so much. I appreciate this. Best female Ghostface, definitely Jill. Jill's my favorite. If I had to rank all the females, it would be Jill, then Nancy, then Amber, then Quinn. Besides Stu's party in the first movie, which party is the best in the Scream franchise? Well, I guess for me it would be Scream 4, even though it's not really a party, it's more of them just hanging out. It's not like a full-blown party, but that one's my second favorite. I want Christina to be an existing character in the universe. Perhaps she's Angelina, and she maybe went to Woodsboro High. I mean, I'm kind of torn on this. I don't think Angelina is Christina. I don't really think that would make sense, but it would be a crazy twist. And I mean, so obviously Christina went to high school with Sydney. We know this because she dated Billy. And Angelina, they don't reveal this in the actual movie, but according to the script, like when Angelina was still going to be Roman's partner, she did go to Woodsboro High. But they didn't actually include that in the movie, which I think that's a missed opportunity right there. I hope that we can see Leslie in 7. And it would be cool if she was working with Stu. Like, what if she's been helping him stay in hiding all these years? Wouldn't it be better to find another character instead of Sydney being the protagonist again? It seems like it keeps repeating. Yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. I think maybe moving forward, yes. I think Scream 5 did a great job with that. I think Sam was a great character. I think she fit in very well. And, with her being the main character in 5 and 6, I honestly didn't really miss Sydney that much. I think Sam was really good. But, once Melissa Barrera was fired, I was like, we need Sydney back. I feel like most people, myself included, wouldn't really accept another new character for 7 after the whole Melissa Barrera thing. So I do think Sydney is needed for 7, especially if Stu comes back. I think I think Stu coming back makes the most sense with Sydney being the main character. Um, but I do get what you're saying, and I think moving forward with like Scream 8, then it should be someone new. There are rumors that it's going to be Sydney's daughter moving forward, which I think would be good. Someone new, but also with like this connection to the original. So we'll see. How do you want Stu to die in Scream 7? Um, I've said before, like, I think it's going to be something like he's gonna be decapitated. Craven Something Scary has said this before on his channel that he thinks it's gonna be like this definitive kill. Um, so that there's no more debate going forward of whether or not Stu's alive. He's gonna get his head chopped off or like grind it up like Michael Myers in Halloween Ends. Something like that. So that there's no question going forward. I have not seen Cobra Kai. I hope so. I would love to see Hank Loomis come back. You know, how does he feel that not only his son was a ghost face, but his ex-wife, and now uh his granddaughter Sam is involved in everything. Like, what is up with Hank? I don't know. I wonder if they'll mention him in 7 because, obviously he had an affair with Maureen Prescott, and Scream 7 is going to be like the 30-year anniversary of her death. So, I don't know. I think he would be a good character to somehow include in the story. He has a lot of connections. Maureen, Sam, two past ghost faces in his immediate family. Thanks, presents. I appreciate that. Which video do you remember putting you on the map where you really noticed a fan base? I don't know. Honestly, I'm very lucky where as soon as I started posting here, my videos were doing very well from the jump, which I was surprised. I thought it was going to take a while to grow a fan base. It honestly happened pretty quick, which I'm so grateful for. But maybe my 50 Stu Clues video, that's like my most viewed video. I think it has like 32,000 views, which is my highest number ever. And that one still gets like a little boost periodically where I'll get a lot of comments on there. So probably that one. Yeah, 13 Ghost is a good movie. It's also nostalgic for me. I watched that when I was pretty young. I never seen Mad Love. Honestly, there are a lot of Matthew Lillard movies that I haven't seen yet. Who do you dislike more between Angelina and Ethan? Definitely Ethan. There's just something about Ethan that I can't stand. I don't know. Can you imagine Scream without Roger L. Jackson's voice? I cannot. He also has the best part. He never has to worry about dying. That is true. That's a good point. As long as they keep making Scream movies, he has a job. But no, I cannot imagine it without him. What is on my Christmas wish list? I don't know. I'm honestly not really one for presents like that. It sounds cheesy, but I just want to hang out and have a couple drinks and have a good time. Um, but probably just some more like horror stuff, like to add to my collection. Anything Scream related, Scream t-shirts, I'm simple. Hey Jamie, thank you. Yes. So I always say, you guys know, Scream 4 is my favorite sequel. After the original, it's my favorite. And Scream 4 is tricky. I feel like either you love it or you hate it. I think a lot of people hated it from the jump, but I think a lot of people are coming around to it. I think with most things in general, like once you add the nostalgia factor, it kind of makes you appreciate it more. Scream 4 came out in 2011. At this point, that is a long time ago. Um, I personally loved it from the moment I saw it. It was the first Scream movie that I saw in theaters, and I was already a huge fan of Emma Roberts and Hayden Panettiere. They were in a bunch of different things that I watched as a kid growing up. So I was already a fan of them. First one I saw in theaters, I loved Scream 4 instantly. But yeah, I think a lot of people are coming around to it, which I love. It's such a great sequel. Let's see. I can see you playing Ghostface. You're so polite and nice. Nobody would expect it. Interesting. What happened to Hank Loomis? I don't know. They don't talk about him ever. After the first one, the next little mention of him, it's not even a mention, but like we see him briefly in the footage that Roman shows Sydney in Scream 3. And that's the last we like kind of hear about him. I don't know. They don't tell us. They don't tell us what happened to him. I would love to know, like, what the hell is he up to? Have you watched the fan film Michael versus Jason? I have not. Honestly, I haven't seen that many fan films. I got to get into them. Um just because, after you've seen all the actual movies, you're kind of like craving more content. I got to get into it. At this point, it's probably going to wait until January for me because I'm in full Christmas mode, watching Christmas movies every night. So once January hits, I will definitely get into watching some more fan films. Hey, Mark. Thank you. Yes, I do remember you. I appreciate you stopping by. I am doing well. I hope you are too. We have the name of Sam and Tara's mother, but what's their father's name? I don't know. I don't think they ever reveal it. I just refer to him as Mr. Carpenter. How did Roman find Billy Loomis? I don't know. I mean, obviously he tracked down Maureen, so he knew that she was in Woodsboro. I guess he just did a little more research, hung around town. You know, Roman knew that Maureen was cheating on Neil with Hank. So I guess then he dug a little deeper after that. Climinator says, my ranking of female Ghostface is Jill, Nancy, Angelina. Yes, she is a Ghostface in my eyes. And Quinn. What about Amber, though? Where would you place Amber? Do you think it would be nice to see Stu actually win against Sydney in 7? Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would want him to like kill her. However, if anyone's going to kill Sydney, it should be Stu. But I don't necessarily want her to die in 7, but I would like to see him win, like get away with it. You know, I would love to see him get revealed in the final act, get away with it, and carry over into Scream 8 for sure. If Amber and Richie uh turned on each other, who do you think would win? Um, I don't know. I think it would kind of be a fair fight. Um, but maybe Richie. I feel like Amber wasn't that successful in killing people in the movie. Where do you want the location for Scream 7 to be set? I personally would love it to be Woodsboro. I know it's been done before. A lot of people say we need something new. Woodsboro's been done before, and I totally get it. But for me, Woodsboro just is Scream. I would love to see a return to Woodsboro. You know, we can start out somewhere else. If you know, if they want to start in Seattle because that's apparently where Sydney lives, and then something brings us back to Woodsboro, I would love that. But I don't know. I think they could still have Billy as a flashback or hallucination, and the person having it could be Sydney, Christina, or Leslie. I agree. This is something we talked about in the last live stream. You know, the Billy hallucination was one of my favorite things about 5 and 6. And the second Melissa Barrera was fired, that was one of my first thoughts like, oh no, now we're not going to see Billy. Um, but I've heard a few people say like, what if Sydney hallucinates him? And I think that could work, you know? She has trauma. She has a lot of trauma. So she could also hallucinate Billy. If Scream 7 was set in London, how would it make you feel? I don't know. Um, I'm not a huge fan of this idea, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Like it's one of those things as long as the story's good, I guess the location doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, I heard some rumors about this that apparently Kevin Williamson and Guy Busick are butting heads a little bit. I don't know if this is true. This honestly could just be people making it up. assuming like so we do know that there have been like a lot of script rewrites, and I think fans could just kind of be assuming that they're having issues, but that doesn't mean that's true. Like maybe they're just both agreeing that the script isn't what it could be. I don't know. I hope if this is true, I hope they can work it out. I do have a couple theories on the channel about this. Kirby possibly being the secret ghost face in Scream 4. Definitely check it out if you have not seen it. It would be in my Scream Theories playlist. I have. I made a video a couple months ago about some Scream 7 predictions. And then also, literally like a year ago at this point, I did what I want to see in Scream 7. But I actually might make a new video because it's been so long. If they're going to do a flashback for Scream 7, what do you think the flashback should be about? I think it should be to the night of Maureen's murder. You know, Billy and Stu killed Maureen, but I think we should find out something new, like Christina Carpenter was involved. You guys know I have these theories on my channel about Christina being the shady character, possibly um, knowing what was going on back then, being an accomplice to Billy and Stu. So I would love to find out that Christina was actually involved back then, or even like Casey Becker's murder. I I think it would be so cool if Christina was involved with that night, either helping them kill her or driving the getaway car at least. You know, where did Billy and Stu park that night? Um we kind of see a couple shots of outside Casey's house, and we don't see a car that's parked. So maybe Christina was parked like down the road or something and drove the getaway car. I don't know. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate that. I watched Thanksgiving and It's a Wonderful Knife and was really happy with both movies. Love the holiday slasher genre, but we need more. I agree. I thought they were both fun movies. Um if I'm being totally honest, they didn't really blow me away, you know, but they were good. I did enjoy them. I just rewatched Thanksgiving a couple weeks ago. I do have to rewatch It's a Wonderful Knife. But I agree, we need more for sure. Hey, Scream Queen, thank you. I have not seen this fan film. Yeah, I was saying earlier, I really haven't seen that many fan films. I have seen The Faculty, yes. I liked it a lot. I honestly, I think I've only seen it once in my life, like a few years ago. So I'm definitely due for a rewatch. I like this version of Black Christmas. I think it's the only version I've seen. I have not seen the original or the 2019 remake, which I heard was bad. um, But this year, I'm definitely going to watch those. And we're going to be doing some watch parties here on the channel, so stay tuned for that. How different do you think Scream 6 would be if Nev was in it? Um, I think some things would be very different, but I kind of feel like overall it would be pretty much the same. Um, a couple months ago, we actually found out what the original script was going to be. I did a video on this if you want to check it out. Joel the cameraman was going to be in it. And I think that would have been really fun. But once Nev dropped out, they dropped that storyline as well. So I don't know. I feel like the core of the movie would have been the same. Taking place in New York, Tara in college, Sam living there with her. The whole shrine thing would have still happened. I think it would have essentially been the same, but certain things would have been different, like Joel, for example, would have returned. I also think Mark Kincaid was supposed to be in Scream 6, but obviously that didn't happen. Hey, Thomas, thank you. I hope you're doing well also. Okay, you're placing Amber between Angelina and Quinn. I agree. I feel like with Scream 7, they need to change up quite a bit. Obviously, bringing back a past Ghostface is something new and different. And then having him get away with it in the end is new and different. They got to change the formula a little bit. It's the formula is the same every movie. I think Nancy killed him. A few people out there have a theory that it was really Stu. You guys got to check out the channel Nerdbox. I always shout them out here on the live streams. I'm sure a lot of you are already subscribed to them, but if not, go subscribe to Nerdbox. They have a series of videos called Stu Clues where they think Stu was secretly working in the shadows of every sequel. And they think that Stu possibly killed Randy, which I'm not opposed to that theory. But definitely check out their video. I agree. We need another Friday the 13th movie. Apparently they're working on another show, or a new TV show about it. This news first broke, I feel like almost 2 years ago at this point. And then something happened, some drama behind the scenes where there were rumors that it got canceled, and then we found out no, it's not canceled. They're just changing like showrunners. I don't know. Apparently it's still in the works. So we will see. Who would win, Stu or Billy? I don't know. I feel like it would be a pretty fair fight. I'm gonna go with Stu. Let me see. Thanks, Tara. Definitely possible for Martha Meeks to be the opening kill. I have talked about that in a couple of videos. I'm gonna take a quick break, like 1 minute. I'm not going anywhere. So keep dropping your comments, and I will be right back. Okay, I made it back alive. I realize I am pretty behind in the chat. I apologize. I try to get to everyone. You can always send in a super chat if you have like a pressing question or comment that you want to make sure that I see, but I'm trying to catch up here. Let's see, where was I? Yeah, Jill was supposed to survive, and unfortunately, it didn't happen. I always think about what Scream 5 would have been like if we got it back then. I have not seen the trailer for Strangers Chapter 2. I didn't even see the first one, Part 1. I heard that one was bad. I'll watch them eventually, but I'm not in a rush. What if Amber had a secret Ghostface accomplice that Richie didn't know about? And that was the Ghostface in the hospital. Well, I think that the Ghostface in the hospital was Stu. I have a ton of theories on the channel about this. In fact, I just did a video pretty recently. It's like 2 videos back if you want to check it out. Um, it's a pretty good detailed theory. Um, yeah, I don't think she had an accomplice that Richie didn't know about. I think that they were both a part of Stu's cult. I think that Richie and Amber were both working for Stu, and they both knew that they were both working for Stu, and Stu was the ghost face in the hospital. Having seen Ghostface in many locations like a movie theater, hospital, bodega, train, school, what location or setting would you like to see Ghostface next? Oh, I don't know. I think something in public would be cool. Kind of like the train, the subway there were a lot of people around, so it was in public and kind of scary in that way. Like, even though you're surrounded by people, it doesn't matter. Um, there were these rumors that Scream 7 is going to take place during Christmas time. And when this rumor first broke over a year ago at this point, I was picturing like a mall, like, Santa in the mall and Ghostface there, which, Terrifier 3 kind of did. So I don't know if they would do that now, but something like that. Something in public would be cool. What would you do if Ghostface turned out to be Sydney's father? I don't know if I would like that. That would be crazy and a little too dark in my opinion. Um, obviously we've had her half brother, which for me that didn't have that much of an impact because Sydney didn't even know him. But then we get Jill, her cousin, which was pretty dark and a big betrayal because she actually knew Jill, grew up with Jill, like she knew Jill for her entire life. So that was pretty dark, but it's one thing for your cousin to be a ghost face going after you, but for your own father, that's a little much for me. I mean, it would be a crazy twist. So I don't know, maybe it could work, but I don't think um I don't think I'm a huge fan of that idea. If Stu does come back, he must have been locked up at the funny farm. A lot of people have this theory. I'm not a huge fan of that. I kind of would prefer for him to be in hiding this whole time. Um yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of him being like in an insane asylum. I would love this if Kirby found out Jill's still alive. That would be a crazy twist. I know, I broke one of Randy's rules. Yeah, I would love it if Christina had more involvement from the beginning. I feel like that's what they were trying to set up. I don't know if they're still going to do it considering Sam and Tara won't be in the next movie. However, I think they still could do it, um, because I do think Christina, she still has some kind of connection. Like, she has a connection to Sydney. They went to high school together. Um, they both dated Billy Loomis. Christina was in love with Billy, so maybe she wants revenge on Sydney for killing Billy. Christina knew Stu back then. I think Christina has a dark side. So she could be helping Stu stay in hiding this whole time. Um, you know, Randy says it always goes back to the original or the beginning. You find out something you thought was true but isn't true. So I just feel like it would be so perfect. I think Christina would be a perfect way to connect these new movies and new characters with the old movies and the old characters. Like I said, don't know if they'll do it now without Sam and Tara, but I do think it's possible even without Sam and Tara. So we'll see. I personally believe Stu was on the phone with Gail and Tara in Scream 5 and 6. I agree. Yes, I have done several videos on this on the channel. If anyone here has not seen them, please check them out. I have a video, I think it's called Stu Macher Attacked Gail in Scream 6. And I have another one that's called Was Stu Macher in the opening scene of Scream 5? Yeah, it would have been cool if Josh Hartnett was in Halloween Resurrection. It kind of sucks that he wasn't. Which Sydney outfit is most iconic? I think my favorite is the original. I would love it if this was true. These are like some of my favorite characters in the whole franchise. I think Stu's alive. I think Jill's possibly alive. Randy, I don't think he's alive, but he's one of my favorite characters. And like I said earlier, I would love to see him again somehow, either a flashback or another videotape where they de-age him. Yeah, it would be cool to see Mindy and Chad again. I feel like it's not going to happen. I don't think it's looking good for them. Last we heard from them several months ago, they said that they have not been contacted by Spyglass or anyone. So, don't know if that's going to happen. I think if they really wanted to include them, they could. They could find a way to make it work. I've said before, Martha Meeks, their mom, has history with Sydney. They have two little scenes together in Scream 3. They hug each other. They possibly have known each other since childhood. I don't know. If Sydney and Randy were like childhood friends, which we don't really know if they were. But if they were, Martha and Sydney go way back. So if Martha was in the movie, Mindy and Chad could also make an appearance. Top 5 saddest deaths. Mine are Derek, Randy, Dewey, Annika, Cotton. Mine are Dewey and Randy for sure. I do think Derek is a sad one. That's something that I have mentioned here before. Like, I feel like Derek's death is one of the saddest ones, but it gets overlooked because he's not really like a fan favorite character, but his death is really sad. Honestly, Judy for me, Judy's a big one. Wes, I guess also. Um I don't know. That's it. Annika's not a big one for me. This is a good point. A lot of the cops in the movie, in the franchise, are not great cops. I feel like the Scream 4 ones are like the worst ones. Haas and Perkins. They're not very bright. You know, they had one job and the most brutal death happens on their watch with what's her name? Olivia. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks, Tara. Catch you next time. Top 3 favorite characters and least favorite characters. Your favorites are Stu, Mickey, and Bailey, and your least favorite are Ethan, Quinn, and Charlie. Top 3 favorite for me, Stu, Randy, Kirby. Stu, Randy, and Kirby for me. Least favorite, gotta be Ethan. Angelina. I don't know who the third least favorite would be. Maybe just someone kind of random like Steven Stone from Scream 3. I don't know. Someone from Scream 3 probably. I feel like those characters are my least favorite in general. I wouldn't say she's the worst character, Martha. But I get where you're coming from. Thank you, Nicholas. I appreciate this. No, don't do this. But I feel like the next couple live streams that I have, I will also call it celebrating 10K. You know, it's a big accomplishment, and I'm proud about it. I'm happy. So the next live stream will probably also be a celebrating 10K, because why not? Thanks, Because Movies. Thank you. That's a good point. I feel like that's true. You know, they have said that they regret killing Randy. Um, and I did expect Mindy to die to kind of mirror Randy, because Scream 6 was supposed to mirror Scream 2, and it did in a lot of ways. So I expected Mindy to die. But you're right. They probably said to themselves, let's not repeat the whole Randy thing and keep Mindy alive. But, you know, I don't know if they realize people don't love Mindy as much as they love Randy. Let me see. Yeah, I feel like Chad should have died, you know? It's one thing if they want him to live, fine. But don't have two ghost faces team up on him and stab him like 30 times. I feel like that's almost insulting to the character Ghostface. Like, it, I just feel like it was our first time ever seeing two ghost faces team up on someone. And they should have successfully killed whoever it was. If you wanted Chad to live, fine, but don't have two ghost faces attack him. That upsets me. I don't like that. Thanks, AJ. I appreciate that. I haven't seen this show. I heard it's good though. Ooh. Who would win? Stu Macher versus William Afton versus Shaggy? I feel like Stu. I feel like Stu would win. I feel like Shaggy wouldn't have a chance. It would be one of the other two. Um, I sit on the possibility that they faked Randy and Stu's death. Jamie Kennedy himself has a theory that Randy faked his death. He's pretty vocal about this theory. Um, um, he thinks that Randy possibly wanted to be one step ahead of the killer and like knew the killer was going to come after him to kill him, so faked his death. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this theory. I feel like it would be a little far-fetched. It would kind of take away from his death. But at the same time, I would love to see Randy again. So who knows? What would you do if you were Ghostface? Well, I definitely wouldn't drag things out in the final act. That's something that pisses me off. Like, as a ghost face, why are you dragging things out and giving a 20-minute monologue speech? Especially if, 6 movies in, you know that every ghost face before you has failed and dragged things out where Sydney or Sam was able to kill you. I would not do that. I would not give this speech. I would simply just kill them. That's what I would do if I was Ghostface. Nah, Shaggy would not win. That's a good point, too. That would mean Randy just hid while his friends died. No, if I was Ghostface, there would be no monologue. Yeah, maybe post-kill monologue. Why didn't Stu kill Sydney when he attacked her at her house? I don't know. Every time I watch it, I think that to myself, like, if they could have, would they have just killed her? Or was the plan always to not kill her and just scare her to, like, I don't know. That is a good question. Was their plan to actually kill her and they just didn't succeed? That's a good point. They were waiting for the anniversary of her mother's death. I mean, oh yeah, that is a good point. Maybe. So I guess their plan was always to just scare her a little bit and not actually kill her. Yeah. I mean, if anything, I would quickly explain my motive and then just get it done. I would certainly not drag things out the way they always do. What would you do with Chad if you were Ghostface? I would simply probably slit his throat. Like, I don't know why Chad is this unkillable person. Um, this guy was stabbed like literally 30 times between 5 and 6. Clearly that's not enough to kill him. I would like slit his throat to get the job done. Let's see. I'm not a fan of this theory. I don't want Randy to be this evil guy seeking revenge on Sydney for friend zoning him. I One of the reasons I love Randy is because he's like this pure innocent character. I don't I don't want that to be corrupted. Um, Chad should be beheaded. He should be. That's actually a pretty solid theory, Chris. But I mean, when did Amber's parents buy the house, you know? Did she live there her whole life since she was a kid? Or did they purchase it not long before the events of Scream 5? If that's the case, then was the house just empty for those years, or did they purchase it when Amber like right before Amber was born? That would make more sense. I don't know. They don't tell us when they purchased it. Um I am going to break Randy's rule again. I will be right back in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. Okay. I am back. And I think we're going to do something fun, considering this is a celebration of 10K. Hold on one second. Um, okay, we're going to do We're gonna do a bracket fight of Scream characters. So sometimes on these live streams, I do like these rankings on this website called Tier Maker, but there's another website similar to that called Bracket Fights. And we're going to do that now. Hold on 1 second. Okay, here we go. So this is all the Scream characters. And they're gonna face off, and I'm gonna give my opinion on who I like more. So first up, we have Nancy Loomis versus Jennifer Jolie. Both of them are great characters, honestly. I love them both. They all have some good scenes, some good lines. You say Nancy. A lot of people are saying Nancy. But I think I agree with Ray. I think I'm going to go Jennifer. Okay, next up we have Gail and Quinn. Gail versus Quinn. Gotta go Gail. I mean, she's an OG. And you guys know, like, the Scream 6 ghost faces in general are some of my least favorite ghost faces of the whole franchise. This is a good point. I'm just basing it off of who I like more, you know? Not power-wise, just who we like more as a character. Who's a better character? Yeah, gotta go Gail. Ooh, Charlie Walker versus Maureen Evans. I gotta go Charlie. I love Charlie. I feel like a lot of people don't like him. I love him. He's like in my top 5 ghost faces. That's true. Gail was always gonna win over Quinn. Damn, I love Charlie. I agree. Charlie's an underrated character. I even have a video on the channel about this, why I think Charlie is an underrated character. That's funny. Yeah, Charlie is great. That's a good point. We get to know Charlie a lot more than we get to know Maureen. Yeah, gotta go Charlie. Ooh, Olivia versus Tara. I feel like most of you are gonna say Tara. And I think I'm leaning more towards Tara. Olivia's a good character. She does have one of the best deaths in the whole franchise. But we spend a lot more time with Tara. Get to know her. Yeah, it looks like everyone's saying Tara. That's true. She's the first person to ever survive an opening scene. That's pretty crazy. You know, she also survived Scream 6's opening scene. She was in that opening scene. She crossed paths with Jason, and he didn't kill her. She survived yet again. That's true. She is one of the biggest actresses out there right now. Yes, I did see that Ghostface is going to be in Mortal Kombat. All right, it looks like we're going Tara. Ooh, Roman versus Amber. This is an interesting one. I'm curious what you guys will think. This is a little difficult for me because I don't really care for Roman. He's not my favorite. But same for Amber. She's not really one of my favorites. I didn't really like her at first, but she has grown on me a lot. But like I said, Roman's not one of my favorites either. Ray says Roman. Present says Roman. Another Roman. Roman. Another Roman. We have an Amber. This is tough for me. Neither of them are my favorite, but I guess I'm going to go Roman. He was in the original trilogy. Okay, next up we have Mindy versus Cece. I think I like Cece more. Obviously, we get to know Mindy a lot more. And she's kind of like the Randy character, and I do love Randy. It's tough though because I really like Mindy in Scream 5, but in Scream 6, I feel like she falls off a little bit. I feel like her personality is a little different in Scream 6 compared to Scream 5. We have a few Mindys here. We got a Cece, another Cece, another Cece. Mindy is funnier. Mindy's better. Mindy's annoying. Yeah, this is tough. Cece has one of the best chase scenes in the whole franchise. I think I'm gonna have to go Cindy, you guys. I mean, Cece. I combined Cece with Mindy and said Cindy. Exactly. Great, great scene. Um, I think I'm gonna go Cece. I'm sorry, you guys who said Mindy. I'm going Cece. Okay, Cotton versus Billy. No question in my mind who I'm going with. I'm going with Billy. I love Billy. One of my favorite characters. Top 5 ghost faces for me. Yeah, Cotton's not even one of my favorite characters in general. Billy, another Billy. Yeah, let's just settle it right now. We're going Billy. Okay, Randy versus Annika. I know who I'm going with, but I'm curious what your thoughts are. I'm going Randy. Randy's like my second favorite character. Stu's my favorite. Randy's my second favorite. Gotta go, Randy. Yeah, gotta go, Randy. Milton versus Jill. This is an easy one for me. Jill is like one of my favorite characters. Top 5 ghost faces for me. Um Yeah, Jill's top 5 for me also. Milton is like one of my least favorite characters in general, so exactly, yeah. I gotta say though, I do appreciate the random pairings, you know? It gets you thinking about these characters in a different way. Like, when would we ever compare Milton to Jill? So this is pretty interesting. Yeah, I hate Milton. Gotta go Jill. Kirby versus Martha. I know who I'm going with. Kirby is one of my favorite characters ever in the whole franchise. So it's going to be Kirby for me, but let me know your thoughts. Kirby. Martha's good. I do like Martha. Um, but she can't compare to Kirby. I mean, this is a fair point. It depends if it's Kirby from Scream 4 or 6. Um, Whenever I think of Kirby, I just always think Scream 4. Like, obviously, she was in Scream 6 also. And I do like her character in 6, but it doesn't compare to her character in 4, for sure. Um, but her impact on the franchise obviously is from 4, so I will just always think of her as Kirby from 4. That is her legacy for sure. So we're going Kirby. Ooh, Mickey versus Stu. You guys know who I'm going with. But I'm curious if there's anyone here who would choose Mickey over Stu. You guys know I'm going with Stu. Yeah, we're going with the one who's definitely still alive. One of the easier rounds for me. Neil versus Dewey. Come on, we know who we're going with. It's going to be Dewdrop. But I'm curious if there's anyone here who would pick Neil over Dewey. Yeah. We gotta go. We gotta go Dewey. Possibly the saddest death in the whole franchise. I mean, for me, the saddest one is Randy, but we didn't get to see Randy's death actually happen. We got to see Dewey's, so they're kind of equal in that sense. Interesting. Ooh, that is an interesting question, Ray. Um, ooh, I don't know. I think she was closer to Dewey. Bye, Presents. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, that's a good question. Would Sydney pick Neil or Dewey? I feel like she would pick Dewey. Um, we're going Dewey. Okay, this is an interesting one. Richie versus Bailey. Both ghost faces from the newer movies. Um, I personally think I prefer Richie over Bailey, but I'm curious what you guys think. Richie, Richie, I guess. What about my ending? Here it comes. Okay, we have a Bailey. Top 5 for you. He is nowhere near my top 5. Interesting. Yeah, I wonder who Sam would pick. Okay, we're kind of divided here between Richie and Bailey. I think I prefer Richie. I think he was a better character. Um, I love a lot of his scenes. I think a lot of his lines are some of the funniest. He was a funny character, which I appreciate. So was Bailey, though. A lot of his lines make me laugh, but I think I don't know if that was the intention with Bailey. I don't I don't think his performance was trying to make us laugh, but it did make me laugh. Richie, on the other hand, was clearly trying to be comical. Um, I feel like I feel like Richie had more than one kill. Um, I think he killed Vince. I think he killed one of the Hicks. He either killed Judy or Wes. Um, but I don't know for sure. They both do get stabbed a lot by Sam. I personally think I'm gonna go with Richie. Judy versus Chad. This is another interesting one because I feel like depending on who you prefer, you're either possibly an old school fan or a newer fan. Um, yeah, I think I prefer Judy over Chad. I like them both a lot. Chad's good. Chad's a good character. Um, but I think I like Judy more. This is true. Chad would probably win in a fight, but that's not really what we're basing it on. I personally am just basing it on who we like more overall. Like it's not like a ghost face battle like who would win in a physical fight. This is more just like who do we like more as a character? Melissa likes Chad. We have a Judy. This one's a little tough. Because none of them are really my favorite. Any of my favorite characters, but I think I'm gonna go Judy. Maureen versus Sam. I feel like this is an easy one. I think we all like Sam more than Maureen Prescott. We don't even really get to know Maureen. Um, Sam is like this badass character. A lot of Sam comments coming in. Thanks, Melissa. No way, Maureen. That is true. She is very nice in real life. I know she's on Craven Something Scary streams a lot. But we're just basing it off of the characters. That's actually a good point. They're like very different in that sense. Daughter of a serial killer versus mother of the main protagonist. You're right, Stu's probably gonna win. Stu or Randy or Kirby. It depends how they end up pairing up in this bracket and how they pair off in the future. I'm going Sam. for this round. Ooh, Stephen Orth versus Liv. You know, so obviously we don't get to know Steve at all, really. Liv, we get to know a little bit more, but she is not one of my favorite characters. She's kind of boring, in my opinion. So I'm curious what you guys think. Steve versus Liv. Yes, this is just who we like more as a character, not who would win in a fight. We have a Liv, Steve, Liv, another Liv. Yeah, this is. Yeah, so like I said, we don't really get to know Steve, but he is a part of arguably the most iconic scene in the franchise. And I do find Liv kind of boring. I might have to go Steve, you guys. Yeah, this is a fair point. We do know Liv more, but like I said, I find her kind of boring. and and Steve's a part of this iconic scene, so I think I'm gonna go Steve. I'm sorry. I'm going Steve. Ooh, okay. Now we're entering the next part of the bracket. We've already been through these characters, but now it's a different face off. We have both of the Gales against each other. Jennifer Jolie versus Gale. I think we're gonna have to go Gale just because it's, OG. Yeah, I love Jennifer, but you know, Gale's the original. She's been in every single Scream movie. Ooh, we have a Jennifer. Yeah, we gotta go Gale. Ooh, Charlie versus Tara. This is tough because I love Charlie. I feel like a lot of you are going to say Tara, but Scream 4 is my favorite sequel. Charlie is in my top 5 ghost faces. I personally think Charlie is a more interesting character. Yeah, this is kind of divided. He's not in Scream 6. This was like a theory that I talk about on the channel. I did think I did think he was in Scream 6 at one point, but I don't think he is anymore. Um, I agree. I think Sam was a far more interesting character than Tara. Charlie is more interesting, but you like Tara more. Hey, Zork. Thank you so much. I appreciate this. Thank you for the super chat. Let's see. Bye. Thanks for tuning in. I'm sorry, you guys. I gotta go, Charlie. Roman versus Cece. I am curious what you guys think about this. We have a Cece, Roman, Cece, Roman. Lots of Romans. This is kind of tough for me. But I think I'm going to go Roman. Ooh, Billy versus Randy. I know who I'm going with, but I am curious what you think. Yeah, this is getting tough. Randy. Billy. Billy. Like I said, I know who I'm going with. I might disappoint some of you guys, but I am going with Randy. I love Randy so much. Oh my god, here we go. Jill versus Kirby. Another tough one. Damn. Both some of my favorite characters. This is tough. Zork, this is just based off who we like more overall character. It's not who would win in a fight. It's who we like as a character. Has nothing to do with like physical strength, nothing like that. Just who we like more. I agree. Stu is the one who attacked Gale in 6. That's a good point. Jill's reveal was great. This is a tough one. um, both are these two are some of my favorite characters overall. Jill is in my top 5 ghost faces, and Kirby's definitely in my top 5 characters overall. So I don't know. Jill's reveal was good. We have a Kirby. I should flip a coin. All right, that's how we're going to do it. Flip a coin. A virtual coin. Hold on 1 second. Okay. I have this virtual coin toss on my phone. Heads is Jill. Tails is Kirby. We're going to flip it. Hopefully you guys can see it. It might be backwards, but you'll get it. Heads is Jill. Tails is Kirby. Ooh, Tails. We're going Kirby. Ooh. Stu versus Dewey. Another tough one, but you guys know who I'm going with. Lots of stews coming in. I know, this is tough. I mean, you guys know I'm going with Stu. Love Dewey. One of my favorites, but gotta go Stu. Richie versus Judy. This is an interesting pair up. I think I gotta go Judy. But I'm curious what you guys think. We got a couple Judys. We have a Richie. I don't know exactly who killed Judy. I think were there for that scene. I think one of them killed Judy. One of them killed Wes. If I had to guess, I think Richie killed Wes and Amber killed Judy because Amber's kill style is a little bit more frantic and stabby, and Judy was stabbed a bunch of times, whereas Richie was just like one Wes was just one clean stab to the neck, like Vince, which I think was Richie. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm going with Judy. Sam versus Steve. This is an easy one. I already know we're all gonna pick Sam. We got one Steve. Yeah, we're going Sam. Gail versus Charlie. I feel like all of you are gonna say Gail. I think if I say Charlie, you guys will be pissed. No disrespect to Steve. I chose him over someone in an earlier round. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Steve versus Liv, and I chose Steve. Gail versus Charlie. We have a Gail. Another Gail. My chat keeps freezing. Yeah, we're gonna go. I guess we're gonna go Gail. This is kind of tough for me because I do love Charlie, but we're going Gail. Roman versus Randy. I think you guys know who I'm going with. Gotta go Randy. I love Randy. One of the best characters. We got a couple Romans. Yeah. We're going Randy. Okay, now we are getting into it. I think this is kind of the last round before the winner. Kirby versus Stu. This is tough because I love both of them, but you guys know Stu is my favorite. So you guys know I'm going Stu. Judy versus Sam. I think we're all going Sam, right? Judy's good. I love Judy. Great character, but Sam is far more interesting. Badass character. Yeah. We are going with Sam. Gail versus Randy. This is one where I know who I'm choosing, but I feel like the chat is going to be very divided. Yeah, I'm definitely going Randy. He's like my second favorite character. After Stu, Randy's my favorite. Oh no, we have a Gale. I just love Randy. I'm going with. It is getting hard. I'm going with Randy. I love Randy. Stu versus Sam. You guys know who I'm going with. That's true. I think we all know Stu's probably going to win. Spoiler alert. We're going Stu. Oh, okay. I think this is the last round for the winner. I knew it was going to come down to this. These are literally my two favorite characters. But I think you guys know who my favorite is. Out of these two. Yeah. Gotta go Stu. You guys knew it would come to this. I knew it would too. I love them both dearly. Literally my two favorite characters, but gotta go Stu. Oh my god, what is this? These characters were not even part of what we've been doing. Wait a second. Is there a second? Oh my god, there's a second round. Oh my god. All right, hold up. I did not expect this to happen. Plot twist. I think it's going to come down to the winner of what we just did versus this second round. I got to take a quick break. I will be right back. I know I'm breaking one of Randy's rules. Don't go anywhere. I'll be back in 1 minute. And we'll continue this because this is getting interesting now. Okay. We're back. Hold on. Wait. Okay, I did not expect this second round. So here we go. We have Phil Stevens versus Sydney. Um, yeah, I didn't realize it was going to be two separate brackets. So this is going longer than I thought, but this is very exciting. Yeah, I think we're all going to pick Sydney over Phil, right? I mean, come on, she's the scream queen. Hey, Ghostface Killer. Let's see, just trying to catch up here. All right, so I'm obviously going with Sydney. Ooh, Perkins versus Mark Kincaid. This is an interesting pair up. No, I think Phil paid. She asked for his money and he's like, "You have money?" And she says, "I have my money. I asked for your money." We have a Mark, a Perkins, Kincaid because Perkins was too clumsy. You know, I do think Perkins is one of the worst cops in the franchise. Him and Haas are some of the worst cops. That's true. Kincaid is a better cop. And he marries Sydney, so hopefully we're gonna get him in the next movie. And we'll get to know him a little better. I'm gonna go with Kincaid. Ethan versus Wes. You guys know I cannot stand Ethan, so um gotta go Wes. Yeah, Wes was a pretty good character. I can't stand Ethan. So this one's very easy for me. We're going Wes. Casey versus Rebecca. I think I'm gonna have to go Casey. Rebecca's great. She's a good character. But you know, Casey's part of like possibly the most iconic scene in the whole franchise. Thanks, Derek. I appreciate that. We got a couple Caseys. We got one Rebecca. Rebecca was a very shady character. Both good characters. Rebecca is good, but I'm going to go with Casey. Iconic opening. This is an interesting one. Haas versus Trevor. both of them are not super important characters, you know, like I guess I guess Trevor is a little bit more important to the story because he's kind of a red herring. He can kind of be considered like a new Billy Loomis. Um, um, Trevor. Yeah, I think I like Trevor more than Haas. He's another one who I think is possibly one of the worst cops in the whole franchise. Yeah, his honestly, his death is one of the most iconic ones too because it's rough. His death is rough. I'm going Trevor. Robbie versus Angelina. This is another interesting pair up because I definitely prefer Robbie. Angelina is one of my least favorite characters. Um, but a lot of people out there like Angelina, so I imagine we'll get some Angelinas in the chat, but I think I'm going Robbie. I just think Robbie is he's an interesting character. He's funny, he has a lot of good lines, good scenes. I personally think Angelina's pretty boring, kind of annoying. Exactly. Thanks, Jamie. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're going Robbie. Sydney versus Mark. I think we're all gonna pick Sydney over Kincaid. Robbie does have a lot of good lines. You're probably right. I think Sydney is the one who's going to keep winning this second round. Yeah, gotta go Sydney. West versus Casey. This one's pretty easy for me. I gotta go Casey. I mean, like I said before, she is a part of possibly the most iconic scene of the whole franchise. Yeah, this one's easy. We're going Casey. Trevor versus Robbie. That is an interesting pairing. Um, I think I like Robbie far more than Trevor. Robbie's more interesting. He's funnier. That is a fair point. I think Trevor's kill is far more iconic than Robbie's death. Um, but I just think Robbie is overall a far more interesting character, funnier, more likable. So we're going Robbie. Sydney versus Casey. That's an interesting pairing. I think Sydney wins this though. Casey's great. Like I said, part of one of the most iconic scenes. But Sydney, I mean, she's the scream queen. This franchise would not exist without Sydney. So gotta go Sydney. Sydney versus Robbie. I know what we're all choosing. We're choosing Sydney over Robbie. Robbie's a great character, but come on. He does not hold a candle to Sydney. Okay. Stu versus Sydney. We knew that this is what it would come to. This is what it's going to come to in Scream 7. Yeah. This is a tough one because this franchise would not exist without Sydney. I personally love Stu though. Stu is my favorite character in the whole franchise. You guys know I gotta go Stu. I'm sorry. I love Sydney. But Stu is my favorite. We're going Stu. Is this gonna load properly? There it is. Stu wins. Surprise, surprise. I think we all knew this is what it was going to come down to. Stu versus the TV, Stu. That's a good point, Chris. But to be fair, the theories also wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Sydney, like, carrying the franchise. So, you know. All right. So that's it for today. I think we're going to wrap up the stream now. This actually might be my longest one 2 hours and 37 minutes. That's a long time. I don't think I've ever gone this long. But had to do it for the 10K celebration. Thank you so much, you guys. Seriously. I appreciate every single one of you. I cannot believe that I hit 10K. This was my goal, to hit 10K by 2025. We hit it early, a whole month and a half early. Still can't believe it. You know, I love talking screen with you guys, other horror as well. Stay tuned for so much more content. I'm probably gonna live stream tomorrow, and it might just be another 10K celebration. Why not? Why limit it to one celebration? Let's do another one tomorrow. But seriously, thank you so much. Thanks for sticking around. All of you who have been here since the beginning, newcomers as well. Thank you for always tuning into my videos. Yes, give the stream a like if you haven't. It helps. It definitely helps out the channel. Thank you for all the comments you guys leave. I cannot say thank you enough. I seriously appreciate every single one of you. Hey, Michael. All right, so that's going to be it. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday evening. You know, do something fun, watch a fun movie, maybe a Christmas movie. I'm already in Christmas mode. I've been watching Christmas movies every night. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate you. Thanks for always moderating and always having my back. I appreciate you. But yeah, I guess that's it. I will see you guys tomorrow. And I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday evening.